Hello everybody, welcome back into the Color Gemstone Academy. I am Paul Deasy, your instructor, and our question of the day will be up in about 15 seconds. Okay, welcome back into the Color Gemstone Academy. I'm glad that you're here. My name is Paul Deasy, and we're going to get into that question of the day. But first, I know what you're thinking. When's he going to get a haircut? Yeah, it's a little unruly today, but I have an appointment in about an hour, so this will be less than an hour lesson. All right, this next question of the day comes from, hope I'm saying this right. It's from episode 53, Grossular, Garnet, and George Shute, or Schutte, S-C-H-U-T-T-E, asks, I've got a sky blue South African one that I found. It's about 3 kilograms. What would that piece like that be worth? I also have a 400 gram piece from this area. Also have a green and white variety of the same variety. We call it Transvaal Jade. Okay, I realize I've had different versions of this question. I think a lot of you constantly are asking, I have this stone or this piece of rough, and what is it worth? Well, first of all, again, it is, and I understand that I get this question a lot, but I also appreciate and understand that many of you are new subscribers. I get new subscribers every day, and for that, I'm very eternally grateful. And if you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. So I realize that new people coming on might not have heard the answer to this, so I'll probably from time to time have to jump into the subject again. Okay, so there's very, very many parts of your question that we need to address. First of all, Grossular Garnet can be a very, very expensive gemstone. It's one of the most valuable members of the garnet family of gems because it's rare. It has different colors like green. But that said, to just give me a verbal description and say, what is it worth? It could be worth a lot of money. It could be virtually worthless. How much of the gem specimens you're talking about are truly gem quality grade? And in fact, let's get into the nitty gritty. You said in the first part, you said I have a 3 kilogram specimen. 3 kilograms is 3,000 grams. What does that translate into carat weight? That's 15,000 carats. Now, how many of them are gem grade? I don't know. So I can't tell from you just saying I have this, what's it worth? Nor could I tell from it if you sent me a picture of it. What we talk about in the gem business is the yield. What would be the yield on a 15,000 carat piece of rough? Is it 10%? Okay, so 15,000 carats at 10%. Now you're at, 150 carats? If only 10% of that is gem grade. So it's impossible for me to determine from the description. And likewise, in the second specimen, I think that you said was a 400 gram specimen. Now you're talking about 4 times 5, 2,000 carats of potential gems, but how much of that is gem grade? And that's one of the reasons that when you are in the business, like my manufacturers that were making for me for the shopping channels, they would buy the rough. Like for example, you could buy a kilo of material, and the secret of success is how much of that is gem grade, and that's why you have people that know what they're doing when they're looking at that. But the bottom line in all of this, it's and again I said that we've had different questions before. So for George, I would encourage you to watch, I think it was a relatively recent question of the day about what is Larimar worth. And I get a little bit more into the economics of it. So the literal translation of what is that worth, what you have, it's what somebody's willing to pay for it. And if you agree to sell it that amount to him. So in other words, or him or her. So in other words, it's what you both agree upon is the value of this. If it's worth it for you to sell it and worth it for them to buy it, that's what the price is going to be. So just as an aside, I know this sounds like I'm skirting the issue, and I absolutely am not. The Gemological Institute of America, of which I am a member, would frown upon me giving you any estimate of worth, even if I saw it in person, unless I ran a battery of tests on that material. But one of the things I want you to know that I am working on, and it's going to take a long time. I'm in negotiations with I've met a lot of people in this industry over the years. From my friend Tom Elliott, he's been on some of my episodes. He's one of the few graduate jeweler gemologists in the GIA. I think there's only a handful of them in the history of the GIA that were both a graduate gemologist and a jeweler. He's an incredible source. Also, I've met miners. I've also met along the line people that run appraisals. So I'm trying to negotiate with some of them to give you guys that are subscribers of my channel the ability to maybe get a discounted appraisal for at a reduced cost for you. So I'm working on things like that. But for right now, again, I acknowledge I get a lot of questions on this episode, or not on this episode, but on this question about I have this and what is it worth. And I've also talked about going into jewelry stores, asking them. I call it the poor man's appraisal. If you just say, hey, listen, I have this piece. I have a sister-in-law that really loves this piece. Could you make something like this? What would that cost if you replicated this? Kind of a nice way to get around for paying for an appraisal. But that's going to be the end of this lesson. I hope that you learned something from it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. Remember, it is free. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it really does help me to continue to do these lessons for you for free. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time on the Colored Gemstone Academy. Bye-bye, everybody.